So hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar introducing the new Saine Repertory. So my name is Dr. Tim Fior. I'm a homeopathic MD and an educator, and I'll be the moderator for today's webinar. The Saine Repertory, which is also referred to as the MMPP Repertory, is the ripe fruit of the Materia Medica Pura project, which was begun by Dr. André Saine and some European and North American colleagues in 2005. The MMPP is an attempt to update our Materia Medicas and repertories systematically from what is found in the vast homeopathic literature for the first time since T.F. Allen did it with his encyclopedia and Constantine Herring did it with his Guiding Symptoms, which were published just at the end of the 19th century. The MMPP has gathered provings, cured cases, intoxications, and clinical experiences on well over 100 remedies now, and has placed them in monographs with a summary or genius for the ease of prescribing. Also, provings have been done on either unproven or poorly proven remedies or never proven remedies, and this is another important part of this work. The final fruit of all this work has been the creation of the Saine Repertory, which has over 150,000 additions to the complete Repertory 4.5. So today, we're going to demonstrate the practical impact of the Saine Repertory. So presenting first, we have Dr. Christoph Abermann from Austria. Dr. Abermann is an MD, classical homeopath for the last 23 years. He's in charge of a homeopathy school in Austria, and he's been frustrated, as have I, as a teacher the last 20 years, that his students could not use the same MMP repertory that he was using. With the release of the Saine Repertory, now all his students will be using the same repertory as him for the first time. He gives webinars and seminars in Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. He's worked closely with Roger van Zandvoort, who has a copyright on the complete 4.5 repertory, and this was essential for making the Saine Repertory a reality. Our second presenter will be André Saine. He is a 1982 graduate from the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon, which is now National University of Naturopathic Medicine. He is board certified in homeopathy since 1988 by the Homeopathic Academy of Naturopathic Physicians, which has merged now its function for certification with the American Board of Homeopathic Medicine. And he's been teaching and lecturing on homeopathy since 1985. He is considered one of the world's foremost experts in the subject of homeopathy. He's also the founder of the Materia Medica Pura project, which has resulted, as we said, in over 100 remedy monographs, many of which André did on his own, and over 150,000 repertory editions, again, many of which André did, which are the backbone of the Saine Repertory. So first, we'll have Dr. Christoph Abermann talk about the history leading up to the release of the Saine Repertory, and present a few short cases illustrating the importance of the updated repertory. Dr. Abermann?
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much for your introduction. First of all, I would like to give you a short overview of the contents of my presentation. I will give you some background information on the development, availability, and costs of the Saine Repertory. And then I will bring some cases that show the importance of the repertory in daily practice. In the chat, you will find, or you already find, a link to download the slides I use. And there you can also download an article I wrote. That's, you will see in the third case why I put an article there. So while the Kent repertory is too small, I tried to put it small here to compare it to the modern repertories on the right. And the modern repertory, with the modern repertories on the right, it's sometimes difficult to rule out remedies because the rubrics are too full and too many third and fourth grade remedies. The Saine repertory is somewhere in between the two in size, and contains only reliable editions, most of which have been taken from the old homeopathic literature. So who participated in the development of the Saine Repertory? First of all, we have to say it's Kent himself, because I'll show you afterwards how many editions he did. So it's Kent, it's Roger van Zandvoort, and it's André Saine. If you look at the on Kent's side, he did more than 500,000 remedy occurrences. He puts more than 500,000 remedy occurrences into his Kent repertory. Roger added about 429,000, so about the same number of editions. And André added with his group, with MMPP, more than 150,000 editions. And each year it's another 10,000 approximately. But there were some more people working there. It's not only André that had worked for the Saine Repertory. He has a big group of about 25 people, the MMPP group, and they did the monographs, they did the propositions for the additions in the repertory. So it's a big group behind that did all the work together with André. And Matthias Puszkarski and myself, we also participated a little bit at the end because we did the negotiations with Roger van Zandvoort, who 3 years ago said he would be publishing the 4.5 repertory, which he didn't want to publish over 20 years before. And that was the starting point where we thought that would be great if the 4.5 would be released and the editions of the MMPP group added. So we had 3 years of talks with Roger and at the end also with André, and we're very happy, both of us, that at the end we have a good result and we have the Saine repertory ready now. I myself added also some additions, but it's only a very small part. It's about 1,500 editions. And we will see one case that's easier to be solved with my additions. You will see it at the end. It's the third case. But there were some other people that were important, especially in the last year of the negotiations. It was Rupali from Synergy, who did a big part and was very important in our group. She had very good ideas often, and it was very good to work with her. And it's not only she herself, but it's also Synergy, who in Synergy gives the software to make the additions. That's why Synergy will be the first software where you can buy the Saine repertory. But you will see at the end that many of the other repertory makers will probably, you will be able to buy the repertory in other repertories as well. So the availability will be more or less in a month's time. You will be able to buy it in the Synergy. Probably 1 or 2 weeks later, it should be in Complete Dynamics. And in the list you see here, Comrep, Vision, Jrep, Homeoquest, Zomeo and Novomeo. They are offered to publish the repertory, but we don't know yet if they want to do it. I suppose most of them will want to sell it also, but we don't have feedback from them yet. So far we know that it will be within Synergy and it will be within Complete Dynamics, but we don't know yet if the others will sell it, but I suppose so. What about the cost of the repertory? It will be 225 euros one time in Europe and the USA. It will be less in many other countries. As you know, the prices are different depending on the country. And the updates will be 50 euro a year, or each update will be 50 euros, and approximately every year there will be an update. And it's not an update as it is in many applications where you don't see much difference with the older version, because every update will have about 10,000 new additions. So it's worth buying the updates because there's all the time new remedies that will be added and new rubrics. And it's good for you to know that an important part of the income goes to the MMPP, which will be used to pay its members so that they can continue to search the literature for reliable editions. They have been working for and not paid for the last years. So it's good that some money comes in and they will be paid. So we all have a growing and getting better repertory over the next years. So now some three small cases of my practice that I want to show you and that have been solved with the Saine repertory. The first one is a very recent case. A month ago, a 50-year-old female patient contacted me while I was on a seminar in Switzerland. And she has had carcinosine for the last 18 years for depression with very good results. But there she called me and said she's in hospital now and she has viral meningitis. She had massive headaches at the vertex radiating to the back and to the coccyx and to the eyes. They were worse on movement, and despite 5 infusions of metamizole, she still had severe headaches. So she got a lot of painkillers in the hospital, but she had still severe headaches. She's had the headaches for 5 days and a fever for 3 days up to 39 degrees Celsius. There was no trigger as far as she knew for the meningitis. She also was dizzy with every head movement, and she was extremely thirsty for large quantities at a time. She drank about 4 liters a day. Further conventional treatment, what did she get so far? Because that was the 5th day, she was already in hospital, so of course she was getting treatment. She got 2 antibiotics at the beginning of her stay in hospital, but both were discontinued after 2 days due to lack of pathogen detection in the cerebrospinal fluid. So currently she only has painkillers 5 times a day. I repertorized quickly because it was in the break of a seminar that I held, so I didn't have much time. And I thought, yeah, inflammation, meningitis. She had head pain aggravated by motion, large thirst for large quantities. She had headache extending to the back and vertigo from motion. And she had this motion aggravation for the vertigo. She had it for the headache. So I was quite confident with bryonia. I gave bryonia 30C 3 times a day, 5 globules. 2 days later, she told me she's not feeling good at all. She had been vomiting many times the day before. Also today, the frequency of vomiting was up to every 10 minutes. Her headache was unchanged, and it was worse lying on the back. She was still dizzy when moving the head or sitting up in bed. She speaks somewhat confused, and she has little herpes-like blisters all over the body. So my assessment was bryonia did not work. There was threatening worsening with recurrent vomiting and confusion, and she obviously had incipient encephalitis as a complication of meningitis. So she was even worse than 2 days before. That's why I repertorized again. That was my repertorization at that moment. And the remedies I thought about were the ones marked blue here, so belladonna, conium, and cocculus. And why did I give conium? Because she had 2 big keynotes of conium. She had the general aggravations turning in bed. Everything was worse turning in bed. Her headache was worse turning in bed, and her dizziness was worse turning in bed. And the second one is the big photophobia she had, which we know from the monograph of André that is a big keynote of conium. So at that moment, she got conium 30C 3 times a day. She lives 300 kilometers away, so I just had to give what she got, and 30C was the only one, the only potency available. Otherwise, I would have probably given her a higher potency. Follow up next day, no more vomiting, dizziness 50% better, headache 50% better, general condition better, no more confused talking, which I thought was very important because it showed that the encephalitis got less. My assessment, she's better altogether, conium works. I told her to continue conium 30C and to try to get conium 200C because I was afraid of a relapse and of her not having a higher potency. Next day, she had a relapse. Headache used to be better 60%. It's now again an 8, so it got worse, quite much worse. The dizziness also more since this morning. No more vomiting, no more confused talking. So at that moment, the conium M that I had sent by mail had not arrived. So she tried to get a higher conium in the city she lives, and that was conium 200D, D meaning decimal, not Dunham. Follow up the next day, she said, it was incredible. I felt an improvement in my headache immediately after taking the remedy. The dizziness is significantly better. Sensitivity to light is better. Can get up and walk with help. No more vomiting. She will be discharged from hospital tomorrow. Summary of the next days, she was given conium M, which I had sent, as I told you, in the meantime, for a minor relapse of the headache without dizziness or vomiting, since no further medication has been necessary. So what can we learn, or what did I learn from this case? In acute, conium can be an important differential diagnosis to bryonia. Both have strong aggravation from motion. With conium, it's especially the aggravation from turning in bed. And the most important issue here is that conium is not only a chronic remedy for sequelae of blunt trauma and cancer, as we knew it like 10 or 15 years ago in the old Richard, or in most of the materia medica. It can be an acute remedy for a variety of acute diseases, especially influenza, conjunctivitis, meningitis, and others. especially if the typical sensitivity to light or vertigo is present. And we have to think about Veratum viride also if vertigo is present during a fever as a differential diagnosis. And this knowledge and numerous other new aspects of conium can be found in MMPP's monograph about conium, and of course can be found in the new Saine Repertory. In the Saine Repertory, these new findings on conium and over 100 other remedies have been incorporated in such a way that we can find them quickly in front of the patient. Second case, it's a short case. It's a 55-year-old female patient with cough after influenza. And with this case, I want to show you this symptom, this cough after influenza, which was not known as a conium symptom before, and which is I confirmed it already 2 or 3 times in patients. We find cough after influenza in Kner and Hering. For example, in guiding symptoms, we see cough after influenza, cough coming with no regularity, but more frequent at night than at any other time, and continuing until retching and vomiting occur, expelling a small quantity of frothy mucus with a yellow nucleus. And this symptom and its clinical confirmation led to the entry in the rubric cough after influenza, where, by the way, it is not in the big other repertories that you can have work on today. So now just very shortly on the patient. The patient was a female patient who had the flu 3 months ago, and I saw her in April 2018 with the following complaints. I never really got better after the flu. The feeling of pressure in my ears persisted for a total of 4 weeks. Even after the acute illness, I had a constant cough, slight sore throat, never a clear nose. The ENT then prescribed antibiotics for 10 days. 2 weeks ago, there was another infection. I had 38 degrees Celsius, sore throat, yellow discharge from the nose, and this infection increased the cough. The cough and the colds worsened in the morning, yellow sputum and yellow nasal secretions. Remember the Hering citation. And I asked her, thinking that she could need conium, I asked her, what about sensitivity to light? Are you more sensitive than usually to light? And she said, yes. I have to say yes. Normally I don't wear sunglasses, but now I often like to wear them. So that was my repertorization. You see conium is in the first place, which is not necessarily always the case that the remedies I give is in the first place, but in acutes, sometimes that's the case. And you see how well this case can be represented, can be seen within Saine Repertory. You see, for example, the yellow expectoration. We heard about that in Hering, the yellow nose discharge, and especially this one, cough after influenza, where, as I said, it is not in the big repertories. Report 2 weeks later, the flu symptoms have gone much better quickly. I'm doing well. What can we learn in this case? Conium is also an important remedy for conditions following acute illnesses. So the first case was an acute illness, meningitis, and now we have the sequelae of an acute illness, the convalescence. And here conium is an important remedy, especially if it's the cough that rests after the acute illness. Various acute illnesses can be the trigger, but influenza and COVID-19 are particularly typical in my practice. So here you see some rubrics of symptoms that show that conium, that's conium rubrics that show what conium can have after influenza. And especially interesting is the first and the second symptom because they are not in any of the big repertories. So cough after influenza and sadness after influenza are additions that have been done by MMPP and can be found in this repertory. Very shortly, I want to show you the rubrics I added in Saine Repertory for COVID-19. I don't know if some of you participated, but I gathered the cases of COVID-19 with a group of homeopaths here in Austria. I gathered internationally the cases, and we looked which remedies worked well and made rubrics out of that. And yeah, all those rubrics you can find in Saine Repertory. I probably will never need them again because COVID is not as difficult to treat anymore, or not as strong. Sometimes it doesn't even need a remedy right now. But if it gets stronger again, or if you have a patient that still has strong COVID symptoms, those rubrics might help you. And third case is a 2.5-year-old boy with recurrent bronchitis. And now we go away from conium, and I want to show you a bassilinum case. He had cough since he was 6 months old, and almost continuously coughing all the time. So for 2 years, he has been coughing all the time. Worse in the evening and at night, worse walking. He has lots of mucus. It can be heard with the normal ear and in the lungs also while coughing. At 6 months, he had asthmatic bronchitis with shortness of breath, better sitting. Cough is also better sitting. He coughs until vomiting, and the vomiting improves the cough. His grandmother on his father's side has also coughed a lot. When he coughs a lot at night, he also drinks large quantities in room temperature. He also has, as a second problem, red, dry, non-itchy areas of the skin. For a long time, that was worse during coughing phases. Currently, he has no skin problems. He used to bite other family members for a while. Currently, he doesn't do that anymore. He learns to talk very late. Remember, he's 2.5 years old, and he only says mommy and daddy for the moment and a few other words. And he only says one-word sentences. So he's very, very slow in learning to talk. Also, he was very late in teething. He got his first teeth at 11 months, and he started working at 12 months, which is normal. It was a very open child, playing with toy cars with me, and after a very short time, he came to play with me. According to his mother, he would immediately go away with strangers. He's so open-minded. As far as food desires is concerned, the mother said he loves vinegar and pickles. He would eat a whole jar of pickles. Most of his sleep is good. Sometimes he wakes up briefly, cries out slightly with his eyes closed, and his mother strokes him, then he calms down again immediately. I asked about the sleeping position, and he has all kinds of positions, but when he's coughing, he's often in knee-elbow position. That was my repertorization. Patient got bassilinum. I just want to see if there's, I think we come back to that. You see, I took desire vinegar here. I should have taken desire pickles as well, which is a very typical bassilinum rubric and symptom, and which would have biased the repertorization even more towards bassilinum. I try to do it objectively, but that's a very big keynote of bassilinum, the desired pickles. But of course, it has also desired vinegar. And there are 2 additions that you wouldn't find in other repertories. I just have to put away this zoom. Yeah. You wouldn't find the knee-elbow position that this patient also had, and you wouldn't find the cough versus an exertion in other repertories. That's 2 of the additions I made into the Saine repertory. Briefly, I want to show you the difference between bassilinum and tuberculinum, because tuberculinum is the more known remedy. Both have lung problems and lung infections. Both have family histories of lung problems. Both are open and friendly children, and both like to sleep in the elbow position. But there are clear distinguishing features. Bassilinum is usually less aggressive than tuberculinum. We all know tuberculinum as hitting and biting remedy. Bassilinum can be shy, which tuberculinum hardly ever is. Completely different food cravings. Bassilinum has pickles, vinegar, chicken, and tuberculinum, as we all know, is smoked food, butter, and meat, for example. And the night terrors that are very severe with tuberculinum, they are much weaker with bassilinum. And we have some organs involved with bassilinum that usually are not involved with tuberculinum, which is especially the skin problems, more even if it's tinea corporis, so it's fungus. And we have digestive problems with bassilinum that we hardly ever have with tuberculinum. And there's one more specialty within bassilinum, which is the development problem. And that can be everything, like starting to walk late, starting to teeth late, or starting to talk late, as we had in this patient. And bassilinum usually has a lot of mucus, and whereas tuberculinum has more of the dry asthmatic problems. Okay, so I want to go back to the initial analysis and show you where are the bassilinum symptoms in this case. We have the lung problems as the chief complaint. We have the lots of mucus, the family history with the grandmother having the same problems, which we also very often find in bassilinum and tuberculinum cases. We have the accompanying skin problems here, which are not really a big issue, but it's typical for bassilinum to have that. We have the aggression that is less than it's usually with tuberculinum. We have the slow development, especially talking and teething. We have the open-mindedness just as tuberculinum. We have desired pickles and vinegar, and we have the night terrors that are rather small night terrors as compared to tuberculinum. And we have this knee-elbow position. So what was the further development of this patient? He was significantly better at the first follow-up 2 months later. Cough stopped from 2 weeks after taking the remedy. Remember, he had been coughing for 2 years all the time, and he remained good. The cough remained good throughout the next winter. And he made, which is also important, significant progress in speech development. After just 2 months, he uses more words and 2- and 3-word sentences now. So what can we learn from this case? Bassilinum is as important as tuberculinum in my practice. In Saine Repertory, based on my study of literature, especially Burnett and others, and my experience in patients, I've made numerous bassilinum additions or increased the grade of some rubrics so that bassilinum is much easier to find, as can be seen in the case above. If you want to know more about bassilinum, there in my handout that you have in the chat, there is an article about bassilinum I wrote about 10 years ago. Unfortunately, it's only available in German so far. So just one more slide about my additions in Saine Repertory. The majority of the additions, of course, comes from MMPP and André, and I have only 1,500. And they are only for some remedies with which I have more experience in practice, and I found out some things that you don't find that easily in materia, or you don't find it all in some materia medicas. That's why I added some rubrics, for example, to bassilinum, cuprum, kali iodata, and other remedies. Yeah, thank you very much. That was my part, and André, it's your turn.
Okay. So I need to be able to share with my screen?
Yes, I stop sharing.
While we're doing that, there's a quick question, Christoph. People wonder if they buy the Saine Repertory in one program, let's say in Synergy, do they also have access like in Complete Dynamics, or they have to buy it from each? If they have 2 different programs, they have to buy it for each.
I suppose so, yeah, because it's a completely different system. I don't think that would be possible because they all work on their own. So I don't think that would be possible. Yeah, they would have to decide in which repertory they would like to use it or buy it twice.
Are we ready? Can
Yep.
you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So when Tim said, when Tim said there's 150 new addition to the repertory, it's much more than 150,000 because we only counted entries. Entries means in a rubric, if a remedy was never there before and it was entered, so that would be one entry. So it's 150,000 new entries. So it doesn't include all the upgrade of grading. So some remedy went from grade 1, 2, 3, 4 over the years. So as symptoms were being confirmed. So it's more than 150,000 addition. And it doesn't include all the new rubrics that are being included in the new repertory. So what I want to share with you is that the clinical success have greatly improved, especially in the last few years. In my practice, not only in my practice, but in my colleagues' practice that use the same tools. That means use the MMPP repertory, which we call the Saine Repertory now, and the monograph that is the work of the MMPP. And this would include great success in patients with advanced cancer, stage 3 and stage 4 cancer. I had a son that was 10 years old 10 years ago that developed a very, very severe type of cancer, probably one of the most severe, fast-growing cancer ever known. And at that time, I realized that as a homeopath and as a homeopathic profession, we were not ready to tackle patient with the most serious type of cancer. So in the MMPP during the last 10 years, we have worked specifically, well, not specifically, but a lot with developing a remedy that will address patients with cancer. And in 10 years span, we can say that this the work that we have accomplished in the last 10 years has been more than has been beyond our expectation in terms of what we can do now with patients with cancer as compared as to 10 years ago. There's three reasons that the symptom it's easier to we have better clinical results, especially with those patients with cancer, but all around, but especially with the most difficult case, which would be stage 4 and stage 3 cancer. There's three aspects. One is the work done via the MMPP, and the second. So in the MMPP, there's two aspects to it. One is the upgrade of the repertory, as Christoph just mentioned. It's easier to see some remedy coming up, and I'll give a lot of example in the next hour. And so that's very, very useful. It makes a huge difference in practice. Second, I would say, is the have access to monograph, and the monograph includes having a reproved remedy. Like last year, we reproved natrium fluor. Natrium fluor is a common substance that most people in big cities around the world ingest or used to ingest when you were a child, which is sodium fluoride, which is what they put in water for fluoridation in many of the developed countries. So many people have been poisoned by natrium fluor in their life, probably, if you're susceptible. So we did reprove it, and it did prove to be very, very successful in practice also. So we had a very good proving and a very good confirmation of the proving so far. Another are remedies that have never been proved, like, for instance, carbonium oxygenatum, which is carbon monoxide, is in Allen's encyclopedia. It's not very present in the repertory. Almost no rubric in the repertory. If I remember, there were maybe less than 100 rubric in the repertory. Now there's over 1,000 for sure. And so that was a remedy that was in Allen just based on intoxication of carbon monoxide. But we have introduced a complete new proving this year in 2023, which is the Ricci mushroom, Ganoderma tsuge, one of the Ricci. And so far, also, we have very good, very excellent proving, really beautiful proving, because we have a very good team of prover. And if people want to join our team of prover, you can write to us, like at the Canadian Academy, and we will include, or to the MMPP, and we will include you in our proving team. Because the more, like in 2024, 2025, in the next year, we intend to prove maybe 6 or 7 mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms, like Ganoderma tsuge, which is a reishi, which is the most used medicinal substance in traditional medicine in the world. And it's strange we didn't have it in homeopathy yet, but now we have it for good. And so we said, if the results are so good in the proving and in clinically, so maybe we should start to prove the other medicine, the most used medicinal mushroom. And the good news about this is the medicinal mushroom, maybe most of the one that we're going to do a proving, like 5 maybe of the 7 are known to treat people with cancer for thousands of years. So you can expect the repertory in the next 1 or 2 years to have many more tools to deal with patients with cancer. So that would be very useful. Another reason that we emphasize the treatment of cancer, I have said it in 2010 or 11 or 12, is that at that time they were predicting that 50% of people living in civilized or developed country, not civilized, I should say that, in developed industrial, let's say, industrial country where there's a lot of pollution. So 50% of the people living there will develop cancer in their lifetime. So before, long time ago, when I was studying in the 1970s, they would say maybe 1 out of 10, and then it became 1 out of 5, like 20%, and then it went to 30%, but now it's 50%. of people. And I'm not surprised if they would rise to 75% within the next 10 years. So yes, you will see a lot of people getting cancer and at a younger age now. Another reason we are able to get good results with people with advanced disease, and especially also with cancer, is the development of the H potency. And so the H potency is the continuation of the work of Finke. So it's the fluxion. So when Finke roses randomly to the MM, we raise it to much higher than MM, and that permits us to treat people with the same remedy with indefinite number of potency forever and ever. We just keep increasing the fluxion and increasing the potency, and that has made a big difference to treat people with very serious disease for a very long period. And I'll say the third reason where the results are so good is the teaching from Lippe. Lippe was, the best student of Abermann and probably medicine greatest practitioner. And in the last year, I worked very hard to complete the work. His best writing. It's a 6-volume book series. So the first 2, which would be his best writing, will come out probably in May. Most likely in May, it will be in print, and it will be available on the website of the Canadian Academy of Homeopathy. And that should help everybody to improve their understanding of homeopathy, and also their better probably for case analysis. They should improve a lot case analysis. Okay, so in any case, we're not here to talk about this right now, but I will focus right now on the upgrade repertory, which is the MMPP repertory, now called the Saine Repertory. So I'm going to share right now 11 cases. So the first one is an 80-year-old lady who has had erysipelas eczema, very severe erysipelas eczema. I'll show you some picture. Let me see. I'll try to get the picture, but I cannot come out of Zoom right now. Let me see if I can come out. Oh, very difficult. Okay, so let's see those pictures. So this would be in just before she got the remedy. So this would be the right leg, which was the less severe leg. You see the erysipelas. And the better leg, the worst legs would be the left leg. You can see how bad it is. It would, at times, would be even worse than that. So very severe, very, very itchy. And this, you see this is because she was scratched. Her husband, she had the nails were cut very short, and she was not supposed to scratch, but in the middle of the night she would scratch. Her husband would wake up and grab her and have her stuff from scratching. But you can see it's very, very severe type of skin infection. And she was treated throughout the fall and winter with different remedy with so result. So this is in April of 2022. So now I'll show you. You can see the repertory, right? Yeah, I assume so, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So here we're in May 2022. So the legs, you saw the picture was in April, so about a month before. And here is these were her symptom. I have let me see, it says I cannot see the top of my screen because of Zoom. I'll go like this. There's something on Zoom that I cannot get rid of and say. Okay, very good. I got rid of something. So here we have the erysipelas, and that was the symptoms. She was worse every day at 4. The itchiness would get worse. And so if we look at the itchiness, so she had a new symptom. She developed a new symptom. Somebody has their microphone open. Okay, so she developed a new symptom, which was the it started to itch in her canti. Aside from the legs, it started to itch in the canti, and it went from the right to the left. And here you'll have the representation. And if we look here at the elimination, so every day at 4 she would get worse, and it was especially bad in her left canti. So here we have this is reishi, by the way. The Ganodermatsuge was not proven at that time, so I couldn't have, it didn't exist. We take the name of another remedy because it doesn't exist in the repertory yet. In the future, it will be called Gano-T dot. But right now we use another name for another mushroom. Unfortunately, we're proving this one this year. It's a mix-up of names right now. But in any case, at that time it didn't exist, so it would not have been there. But we have here Apium graveolens. So you can see it's very, very strong for having gone from right to left, and especially the left canti, especially for itchiness. And if we look at the representation in the 4.5, I cannot do it to other complete repertory because the rubric don't correspond, but they have the same, our repertory has the same correspond as this one. Hold on a second, I want to get this case. So, hold on, I did something wrong. What did I do? I'm going to cancel it, and that's that. Okay, so we have the 4.5. Now we want to open the file of the patient. Or we'll just go here and go like this. And we want to go back to May, looking at the May 22. And if we look now, we look for Apium graveolens. You see, doesn't show, the 4 o'clock doesn't show, and the right to left doesn't show. Unlikely we would have prescribed this remedy. If we look at the elimination, it will not be there. So it would unlikely we would have considered the remedy. We did not know that it was worse at 4 at that time. In 2005 with the complete repertory 4.5. So these were addition to the repertory made by the with the MMPP repertory. And if we look at their legs, a few months later, this is in September, completely free. And today I saw her maybe a month ago, and their legs are totally free. So it's a long-lasting cure. And she had to go up from Apium graveolens 200 to maybe to the MM. She went up to the MM, but you can see she's very, very good. Perfect legs. Okay, let's look at another case. The case of a patient that is a male, 67 years old with Parkinson. We're talking about 2024 here, so recently. Parkinson, and with prostate issue. In other words, there's a tumor there, but we don't know what the tumor because he refused the biopsy. So he has nocturia, sleeplessness, tendency to for palpitation. Now worse at night with anxiety because he worries that it's cancer. He didn't accept the biopsy. He has liver pain. He has urgent and incontinence 2 or 3 times a day, which is very inconvenient, especially if you have Parkinson, because movement is difficult, like displacement, quick. And so he leaks 2 or 3 times a day. And especially when he's standing, not when he's rising, when he's standing, not when he's walking, when he's standing. And it's better as soon as he lay down, not when he sits. It's not better sitting. As soon as he lay down, it's better. So he does not have incontinence at night. But if he stands, if he would get up at night and stand for a while, he would get incontinence. So that was peculiar to his case. And he sleepless until 4. So really sleepless, really, because he's worrying about his health for the last 2 weeks. Okay, so if we look at his case, That was CP. And this was in January, I said, January 12th. Yeah, it's the same as this one. So anxiety about health. So this is with the complete repertory, I believe. Let's look. Yeah, this is complete repertory. Okay, and let's look at the elimination. Oh, there's no elimination. Yeah, there's no elimination because there was no need to eliminate. You'll see. So the remedy I prescribed for him was Ganoderma Tsuge. That was proven last year. So let's look at it now from the perspective of the complete repertory, the MMPP repertory or Saine Repertory. But right now I'm going to reopen his case because it has to be open with the, okay. And we go to January. Okay, very good. Okay. No, this one here. So you see, this is gonna divert again. You see, if we look at standing, no, it was a better sitting. I'm sorry, it was better sitting, worse standing. Yeah, so it's here, gonna different, and better sitting and better lying down. Okay, so I'm sorry, it was better sitting also. So the only remedy that had both was Ganoderma. And if we look at all the other symptoms, the sleeplessness, the prostate, and so on, so that's the remedy I did give him. There was no elimination, but if we do an elimination, let's say, it would be, let's say, oh yeah, there it goes. So it would be worse standing. No, worse standing we'll put here, and sitting and lying we'll put together. Sitting and lying. So if we we'll do like this, so we combine these, and we'll see how many remedy. There might be more than one now. Yeah, there will be three. So of the three, yes, maybe I did talk about Cantaris, but I decided to give him Ganoderma Tsuge. And the result was sleep improved right away. The nocturia went down. The walking, the Parkinson walking, due to Parkinson, the coordination got better, better control, better mood, better balance. Swallowing is better. Palpitation disappeared. Less trembling of the knee. He went from Ganoderma in January 30 to 200 in February to 1M in March, and now he's taking the 10M. And he improved gradually with each potency. So you could say that if the increase of potency and the increase of benefit with each increase in potency confirmed that Ganoderma Tsuge was a remedy with a very high degree of similarity, which we could never have prescribed that remedy a year ago. I could never have prescribed that remedy a year ago because the remedy did not exist in our Mathematica. And I have a number of patients with Ganoderma Tsuge since that time. The next patient is a 75-year-old woman who in September, she used to be a patient of mine. The last time she consulted, I think, was in 2014, so 9 years before. And now she says, I have a very strong hip pain on the right side. She's a medical doctor and still in practice. And she says, 16 years before, not 14, but 13, 16 years before. She has hip pain worse at night, but not lying on it. It doesn't matter what position she is, as long as she's lying. So this is what was peculiar, is regardless of the position, she was worse with the hip. And it was as soon as she was laid down. As soon as she lay down. Very bizarre. Never seen something of that nature. And if we look, with this case, Don't say this. So we go back to September. Yep, this one. So it would be this one. Yeah, this one, which has spinal stenosis. So here you see at night in bed, not lying on any position. And she's also worse from the warmth of the bed. That's remarkable. She's always looking for the cool place of the bed. But that's even 16 years ago or 20 years ago, she had that symptom. Always looking for the cool place of the bed. And very irritable to noise. That was the most remarkable mental symptom. She cannot tolerate any noise. She has grandchildren, right? And if they make noise, she gets out of herself. Like she gets beyond herself if they make noise, which kids always do noise. The pain is in the right hip that extends to the knee. It's worse ascending stairs, worse at night, and so on. She doesn't tolerate the heat of the summer or the sun, if I recall. Yeah, she's not good in the sun. It should say there. Oh, yeah, here the sun. But she's not good with the sun. So if we look at the repertorization, and we look at the elimination, noise with spinal stenosis. So there was one remedy that I looked at was the natrium fluoride, and we had the key symptom, which was lying, worse at night when lying at night. So I did give her, I did give her natrium fluoratum 200, and I just had a follow-up actually, not a minute, the last patient before the webinar began. She was the last patient, so her case would be right here. And the good news is she's been taking the 10M. She took only 2 doses of the 10M, one on March 30th and April 3rd, so a week ago. And because she had pain when she would wake up in the morning, not at night, just wake up in the morning. She had pain, and she took the 10M twice. Yes. And she says the next day the pain was gone and never came back. And then she had it again 4 days later. She took the remedy. It went away the next morning and never came back. So, and then she told me there's one symptom that is not improving, or she's not sure if it's improving. It's when she walks, and if she stands for more than 3 minutes, or if she sits for more than 3 minutes, because she's an avid walker. She walks every day. And with people, they talk and they stand for a while. They sit on the park, on the bench in the park, and they talk for more than 3 minutes. The first step, the first step, it feels that her hip is dislocated. So she has to push with her hand, push the hip in, and she can walk. If she doesn't push her hip in, but she had this for 1 year. I did not know. She told me today only. So she had this for 1 year. She just pushed with her hand and pushing it. So I did look in the repertory for dislocation of the hip, because that's what she feels like, and it looks like it's dislocated. Dislocation of the hip, and natrium fluor was there. And I said, wow. I say, likely it will go away. So I say, next time you go for an extended walk and you know you're going to sit or stand for more than 3 minutes, take the remedy before you take that walk and try to see if that problem is still there. But the point is, she had the pain every night for 1 year and it's gone. And we would never have found the remedy if we had not reproven the remedy and with the MMPP. So another great case that was done with the MMPP repertory. So we'll go to case number 4. Okay, 4. She's a 68-year-old woman who has multiple myeloma. She's been my patient for at least 5 years, if it's not 6 or even 7 years. And she is treated with conventional medicine. And she's been taking a remedy since October 9. So we'll look at her report. And we're going to go to October 9th, I think. Yeah, October 9th. That's correct. Yeah. Yep. And she had bad headaches. The headaches was characteristic was can't recall, maybe it was more than this. It was fullness of the head. Okay, so this was the headache. Let me see what I put in it. So it was not work pressure, it was in the evening and it was worse from light. So I looked at this. So this was with the MMPP repertory. So I look at azafatida because she has multiple myeloma. Now, if we look at it with the complete repertory 4.5, the azafatida, it's Tim, the presenter, our host that did the monograph of azafatida. And then if we reopen the case, which is DS, sorry, and we go back to October 9th, and we look at the this, and we look at the elimination. Well, oh, the elimination, we didn't do the elimination. Yeah, let's do the elimination. So if we do the elimination, there's no azafatida. So azafatida didn't show at all. If we do look at azafatida, it's not there from worse from light. It's there for outward pressure and eating, but not from light. So the light helped a lot because it was only the one symptom that she had, the modality. So it make no, she had two modalities, but this was the most important. So what happened to DS? Let's look. Oh, it doesn't say it. Yeah, it was a headache, especially worse from light. So I can tell you because her file is here. And so she's been taking the azafatida since October 2023. She's taking now the CM, and everything got better. Everything got better in terms of the multiple myeloma. Her M protein just start to dive after the azafatida, and she is everything got better. Energy, she could walk longer. She had less pain. She had a fracture in her spine, old fracture in her spine that would give her a problem when she walked too long and it went away. She had more stamina walking. Instead of walking 20 minutes, she could walk very quickly within maybe a week or two after taking the azafatida. She could walk up to an hour. She has dogs, so she walks with dogs. So again, I would have had trouble prescribing azafatida if I didn't have the MMPP repertory. Let's look at the next case, which is LT, another patient with multiple myeloma. I think we have 3 here with multiple myeloma. My secretary told me there's so many people with multiple myeloma. That's right. It doesn't seem like 10 or even 10 years ago, but 20, 30, with so many patients with myeloma. Right now, it's like we have a lot of call for patients with multiple myeloma. In any case, she's 89 years old. So when I saw this patient, I said, well, you know, what she does expect at 89 not to be treated with multiple myeloma. But it was a very good, successful case. So if we look at her case, this is LT. We'll look at LT. She's right here. So here, and LT would be in July. So we'll go back to July 23. So it would be this rubric. So you see she has cancer section, multiple myeloma, and so on. This will be the genius of the case. He's very fastidious and so on. So the remedy was prescribed was calcarea florata. And you see it doesn't show up in this here. It doesn't show up. It show up with 7 symptoms, 14 value of 14. If we look at the elimination, she has arthritis with big nodosity, arthritic nodosity, bunions, and cancerous affection of the bone. And if we look, oh, it came out because no, you wouldn't have no, because this was done. You see, all of these were done. No, so we cannot use that. But you'll see, it would if we don't do this, it would be let's see where it would come. So here we say 714. So it comes out about the 20th remedy, about 20th remedy. Okay. So now if we look with the MMPP repertory, you'll see it's a complete different story. And then we're going to reopen our case. So this was LT. And we're going to go to here. We did the case. This was a symptom. And we're going to open the elimination. Well, we don't even need to look at elimination. We can just look. Yeah, so if you look here, top your floor, the first remedy coming up. And before was 714. Now it's 1225. Big difference. So the first remedy that comes up in the repertorization. So it would have been difficult to identify Capillary floor before. So what happened to LT? Since she's asymptomatic, completely asymptomatic, lots of energy. Her daughter says she had difficulty stopping her. She's just totally asymptomatic, no symptom whatsoever. Fatigue is all gone, pain is all gone. She's active again. She used to go to old people center before COVID. She stopped, and then she never went back after COVID because she had no energy. But now she decided to go back. She's starting to see her friend again. So life is coming back, and she's 90 years old now and doing better. Let's look at the next case. FK. So that would be June 2nd, 2023. It's a vertebral fracture. She's the wife of my patient. She's not my patient. She's the wife of the patient. So I did the representation in this case. So she developed tremendous pain in her back. She was just lifting a basket like this, not heavy, maybe a 2-pound basket, up above her eyes. And she felt something in her back, a sudden sharp pain in her back. She couldn't move anymore. And they called me. And no, she went to the hospital. They say she has a vertebral fracture, tremendous pain. The painkiller doesn't really give full help. She cannot sleep at night, and they finally reached me. So let's look at her case. This was FK. No, I bet she was there. I don't see FK. Oh, it would be here. It would be this one, but it's FK. Okay, and then we go to June, I think, June of 23. So this is the advent. So this is her symptom. June. Yeah, so that will be it. That's her husband. Oh, maybe it's not June. No, this one, June 8th. This one. Maybe this. Yeah, injury to the spine. There you go. So this is it. She had injury to the spine and so on. And the remedy, this is with, oh, this is our repertory. Okay. So this would be the elimination. So she had numbness. It seems it's not correct. This is not correct. Oh, I cannot retrieve my step here, maybe. Hold on a second. But I know this is it because you can see spinal injury. Let's see if we do the elimination. No, it doesn't come out. That was a symptom of her husband. So I'm not sure where our symptom for the elimination. Maybe it's the next day. Yeah, there's one day. No, that's for her husband. I don't have the answer. Where is the elimination? But I know that this is a symptom. And in any case, the remedy that I prescribed was asafetida again. Maybe because she was better with pressure. There was wandering pain. Okay, so here, anyway, here you see it's 10:15. This is with our repertory, 10:15. 10 symptom 15. There must have been something that I grabbed me. Maybe she was worse at 2. So again, that's the remedy did by Tim. And if we go back to the complete repertory and we open a case again, and we go to June 8th. And we look for asafetida. So before was, anyway, it's 5-6, you can see. So much less symptom. And yeah, 5, I forgot what it was before, but I know it's more than that. I think it's 14. In any case, it would have been difficult, but with the addition to the repertory, I was able to find the remedy. Better from pressure, yes. So where is better? Yeah, there you go. See, it's not there, and that came out with our repertory. Oh, here it says better with pressure. What about a 2? No, C2 wasn't there. So there was a few symptoms like this that were useful. In any case, asafetida was like a miracle for her. She can't take me enough. When I phone for her husband, sometimes she comes on the phone, she take me, and she made a donation to the American Institute of Homeopathy. So she for that, because I didn't charge her, and she made a donation to the American to homeopathy for the American Institute. Okay, so that would be case number 6. Case number 7 is EF. EF is a case we saw in the practicum. Practicum is a once a month, 10 times a year, or 9 times in last year. We see a patient in group, on the webinar, and then people analyze the case on their own, and then the day after or 2 days later, we regroup. Like today, we have one of them, and people regroup and they share their case analysis, and then we look at how the patient is. So this was a patient that was saw in the practicum last year, a year ago, like almost exactly to the date. She's 65 years old, and she has episodic viral episode every 2 weeks since 2015, which have her be put in bed. There's nothing else that she can do. She has fever, high fever, extreme weakness, extreme photophobia, extreme headache, and diarrhea, and extreme exhaustion. So she goes to bed for 1 or 2 days every 2 weeks, and then it takes her a few days to recover. It takes a little while to recover, and then 2 weeks later it comes back, and it's been happening for 7 years, for 8 years. 8 years. Look, this is 2023. For 8 years, she has those episodes twice a month, just debilitating. So she was given chromium 6X to DM, which she began. The DM she began in January, and her last follow-up. She has one today actually. She has a follow-up today, but her last follow-up before today was February 27th, and she says, "Dr. Saine, thank you for giving my health back." Why? Because she's 95 or 98% better. Like the episodes don't come often anymore. If they come, she's not sick anymore. She's not bedridden. She's not handicapped. She can go on with her day. Very, very mild. So let's look at her case, EF. So this is with the complete 4.5. So we'll go at the beginning, which would be this rubric. The number 2, that's where I put the genius. So that's the genius. So if we look at conium, it's year 11, 19. If we look at the elimination, if we do the elimination that was here, chills with the headache, headache better with cold application, and headache better from sleep. So here you can see her symptom. Hold on, no, this is her symptom. This is her genius. This is the symptom. So she's never well since an infection. She gets very weak. She like a type of glandular fever. Periodicity every 2 weeks. Headaches periodical every 2 weeks with weakness, and you will see diarrhea there and so on. Where's the diarrhea? So the diarrhea there, maybe it's spirited diarrhea or someplace. Yeah, diarrhea here. It comes with the diarrhea. So these are but this was the genius here. So if we look at this and see which remedy comes out, there's no conium with these 3 symptoms. If we look at these 3 symptoms only, and we can put someplace, but yeah, we can go like this maybe. Conium is there for chilliness with the headache, is not there for cold application, so that would be a big elimination. And headache better from sleep, it's there, but maybe it's not there. So we'll see if headache is better from sleep and that repertory, because it's a combination rubric and it will not adapt. No, it's here. Oh, no, that's no, it's better from sleep. Sorry, better from sleep. It's not here, and it's not here. So it will not be 2 of the rubric we choose for elimination. It will not have been there. So now let's look at the same case with the MMPP or Saine Repertory, and look at the same case, which is EF. And we go to April 13th, this one, and we go to this elimination. So look at the difference. Whoa. That's without elimination, but the elimination would be like this. So it's hard not to prescribe that remedy. And here it is, look, the difference. So this patient completely recovered. Could we have found conium without this repertory, or without the monograph, I should say, because the monograph is the most important. But without the monograph and this and the addition to the repertory, probably not. It would have been difficult. It would be a long search. We have made so many additions to the repertory that this remedy comes out very, very often, and as a rule, it's very easy to rule it out, and it's very easy to know when it is the remedy. It's one of the most prescribed remedy in many, many people's practice now. Christoph showed with 2 of his case. Yeah, so she says thank you, because she's basically totally recovered, like 98%. Like I said, that was in last follow-up. I didn't check the follow-up. It's today. It will be this afternoon. Case number 8. It's a patient we saw just in January. No, not too long ago. In let's say it was in March 20, or maybe February 2024, with a schwannoma, but it's very severe post-surgical neuralgia that incapacitates her life, makes her life miserable. And here it says, with the remedy she got was sepia. Sepia, she took, I think it was sepia. No, it was conium. Sorry, it was conium. So it was another case of conium. So here was 5 in the complete 4.5. In the genius, she had 5 symptoms for a value of 9 point. But with the Saine Repertory, She had 16, so 3 times more symptom with 3 times more value. So we'll look at the case. This is L. I'm reporting this case because I already did 2 follow-up on her, and she's just remarkably a new woman, a new person. So here was the schwannoma, and here was the genus of the case, and here was the elimination. No, this is the wrong. No, this is the
You
wrong.
picked LT instead of LVR.
Yeah. It's LT. Wow. Oh, yeah. I see. I did LT. Okay. Well, multiple myeloma. Okay. So let's go back to. It will give us the date. So March 6th. So I was right. So I thought I'd say February or March. It was. So let's look. So this would be the genius of the case. So it's better with exertion. So this is looking with the MMPP repertory. Conium and sepia were close because she was worse in the sun, so we couldn't prescribe sepia. And the photophobia was strong. Anyway, she got conium. But if we look at the same case in the complete, and we say elimination, conium doesn't come out at all. And here you see a lot of symptoms on it there. A big difference. Oh no, let's look here for the genus. Okay, so let's look at it. It doesn't come out. And let's look conium. Okay, so some of the symptoms like worse from the sun was not there. Photophobia in the sunlight was not even there. It's a 4 in our repertory. It's the most important, one of the most, it's the, almost a, it is a sine qua non for conium, the sensitivity to sunlight. It's a sine qua non, so it's not even in the repertory. Imagine. And look at the, so it's 5 out of 9, while in the other repertory was 16 symptom for 30. So again, it would be difficult to prescribe. Let's see where it is in the repertorization list. So this is the genius. So this, there is about 9 remedy there. This is 18. This is 27. This is 36. This is 45. I didn't see conium yet. Maybe 45, 54. Wow. No, it is not so far. We missed it. Let's do it again. Can be that far. So 9, 18. It's not there. 27. I don't see it. Hey, where is it? No, it's far. Really far. Well, I don't know. We must skip it. Oh, it's got 4. In any case, it's 5 out of 9, so it's very far. So you wouldn't have found conium. So here, spectacular, another spectacular case. But these are not exceptions. See, these are the cases that I'm choosing among many. Last year, we had a practicum and we had 9 patients. And out of the 9 patients, we did a review in February. Or in January, we did a 5th of the previous year. In February, I think. And now I have follow-ups on the one that we did in November, December, and in January. We have follow-up, longer follow-up. So now I can say that out of the 9 patients that we saw last year, 5 are much better. So these were cases, not 5 out of 9 taking public. So 3 better. 3 are much better. So 5 much better. 3 are much better. So 2 better. And 1 was better. The only one that we didn't have great success with, just a minor success, very minor, is a patient that I actually think disease. And the only thing that seems to have got better during homeopathic treatment that I tried to treat him very sporadically, or occasionally I would give him a remedy, is sensitivity to homeopathic remedy, because part of his iatrogenesis was due to receiving some product that are called homeopathic, but has nothing to do with homeopathy. Somebody gave it to him that was supposed to be potentized substance, in a very not homeopathic way, very regular, and they're not proven stuff. And he got it, and he got very, very sensitive to the environment, very sensitive to remedy, very sensitive to everything. He's a lawyer, and now he's living in the basement of his parents. He cannot come out. He's too sensitive to the environment and everything. So the good thing, the only thing he got better from my treatment during maybe because we stopped in December about, because I told him to go in another direction in December. I told him to check spiritual healing, because I had another patient similar to him that very much better with spiritual healing. So he stopped being sensitive to the remedy, could take remedy in potency, even high potency, with no reaction. So that was gone. And that was gone with China, China. After taking China, he stopped being sensitive to the homeopathic remedy, which was a good thing. But that's the only 1 out of 9 that, and I want to take the case during a teaching session to show people how to deal with people that are very, very sensitive, and also here to potentize substance. In any case, you could see the great success that we had. So this is not case that we pick here and there. This is like across the line, regardless of the problem. Many of them have cancer or autoimmune disease, or like the one with the recurrent episodic viral infection. So that was an infection. Okay, so this was case number 8. Let's do 9. Let's see how much time we have. 9 is MH. So she was seen also in the practicum. So she was seen in December. December 23. That's a mistake. 21. So she was seen in December 23 in the practicum, and she has multiple myeloma. So it's the 3rd patient with multiple myeloma in the series of 11. Maybe there's more, but okay. Oh, no, this is not a woman. And that's not a practicum. This is a man. So he was seen in 21. It's not a mistake. So he was seen in 21. I gave him a remedy, conium, but he decided to go to, he said to me, he came with his girlfriend, and he said, he came, and I remember they were sitting in front of me, and it was his new girlfriend because he had been married, he was divorced, and now he had a fiance or girlfriend. And they came together, and she was in favor of doing, he was in favor, he was want to go natural, to be treated naturally, but he came with his fiance, and they made the decision after seeing me, and they decided to go conventional. So he did go conventional. So he had a remission. After 6 months of conventional treatment, he had a remission. He had 1 relapse. He had a new type of treatment. He received another series of treatment with another remission. So he had second remission. And then in March 22, 2023, March 22, 2023, he calls me back, and he says, I have my 2nd relapse, and now I have necrosis of the facial bone. And the treatment that is offered to me is offered in the United States, and they apply to Health Canada to get it. It's $1 million for the treatment for 1 year. And Health Canada refused. So they say you can still have it, but you'll have to go to the state and get it from your pocket. The guy said, I don't have $1 million, and I don't know if I can raise $1 million from, like on the web. So he called me. So he says, okay, a year and a half later, 2 relapse. Now he decided to go natural. He says that he doesn't have the option. So we start treatment. So with the 4.5, you'll see. So we'll look at March 22nd. 4.5. The remedy, I don't remember the remedy I gave him, but we'll find out soon. He had 7 out of 10 symptom, but with the MMPP, he had 9 out of 16. So let's look at this case. So it's MH. MH. So MH, and we say March 22nd. Let's do it. Okay. So this is our patient with myeloma. And the elimination, we'll look at the elimination. And now, because now he was presenting with cancer of the facial bone. So the remedy I gave him was fluorotomazidone, I think, right? And this is with the complete, so it would have come out, but you see, it's 7 out of 10. So, and if you look at here, fluorotomazidone, it would be, yeah, it could be, you could have prescribed it to some degree. It was like the 7th remedy, but let's look what it looks like in the Mathematica Pura. This is MH. And we go back to March 22nd. So March 22nd, fluorotomazidone now is 9 out of 16, much more prominent here. And if we do the elimination, it's the second in the elimination and much stronger, you know, for some of the key symptoms, like especially aggravation from wine. So very strong. And September, so that was in March. In September, he has a PET scan and blood test. He's in remission. No other treatment. October, the doctor was not sure. He was not like puzzled. His oncologist was very puzzled because you don't get a remission after 2 relapse. It should get even more aggressive. So then he decided to do another PET scan, another series of blood tests just a month later in October, still negative. No sign of cancer. He was not sure, so he did a 3rd one in December, still negative, and he got one last week, another PET scan and another blood test, still negative. So a year later, he is all sign of cure. He had 2 relapses with conventional medicine. He had a full-blown case of multiple myeloma in his son. He was weak from the chemotherapy. He was quite weak, actually. And now you could say he's cure after 1 year. So there's another beautiful case. Let's look at the next one. And Kate, in case of 13-year-old, so finally we have somebody younger than 49. So she came in she came in September maybe, or in the summer of 2023. And she had especially goiter. No, it doesn't say here. Yeah, goiter here. And poor appetite, headaches, mood. She had received other remedy. She had headaches with fatigue, dark circle, and so on. And it says cease clipboard 6. Okay, so let's look at her case. So she had Graves' disease. I think it must be this. Let me see. I just want to see. November 10th. I know she broke her leg. Yeah, November 10th. She broke her leg not too long after that. From sport or something. I can't remember. November 10th, so that's it. So here it is, goiter. Worse in the Sun, and the eliminate. So this is with MMPP. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I know the remedy. Okay, so this is the symptom she had. Worse in the Sun, the injustice. She put salt on salt. She loves cold water, but she would put salt on salt. So the remedy she got was Ganoderma tsugae. Again, Boletus aplanatum is the abbreviation we use because it existed for Ganoderma tsugae. So that's the remedy she got. There's no use to show you with the any other repertory because it's the only repertory will have Ganoderma. All other repertory is 0 for that. So it would have been impossible to use with any other repertory in the world. So after taking Ganoderma 201M in November, in January, she got new blood tests, which were all normal. Her antibodies were normal. Her all her hormones were normal. Her often endocrinologist told her she's totally cured. You can take her off all. She was on the medication for heart rate and other medication, which she was not actually taking, but the endocrinologist thought she was taking them, but she was not taking them. Anyway, some of them she was not taking. And so she says, yeah, you can stop all medication, even though she was not taking them, but unknown to her. And she says she's cured. And she says, I want to know the name. I want to know the name of the doctor that treated her. But I have to say she was from Indian origin, and Indian people of Indian origin, even allopaths, are usually much more, 100% more open to homeopathy than regular allopaths. They have at least possibility of vital force that exists in their brain compared to 100% materialistic thinking of Western world thinking physician. Okay, so we have one more case, which I don't even remember what it is. Oh yeah, okay, so a patient we saw in the practicum in January, so it was the last one we saw for the practicum 23-24. So it's a 58-year-old male with prostate cancer, very anxious because of the cancer. So he was given CPF30C once a day. In February 7, his PSA was 9.8. March 19, it was 8.5. So it came down, didn't go up, but at least came down a bit. But he had a symptom that was very peculiar. He called esophageal spasm, but we don't know what it is exactly. He has chest pain almost daily, especially at night in bed, since the age of 17. And guess what? 95% gone after CPAP. So that means you hit the target there. Aches and pains in the morning. You would go down the stairs in the morning with lots of difficulty, gets pain in his joints everywhere. Gone. Sleep better. No more snoring. He was a big snorer, but you have to say he did lose weight during this time. Anxiety about his health because of the cancer. And he also had brain fog. I don't remember if the brain fog was from COVID because he did get COVID, but he had brain fog that lifted with sepia, much improved. So here in the 4.5, he had 9 and 20 for a value of 22. For sepia, it does a Hahnemann remedy, so you should be fully in the repertory. But in the MMPP, he had 2 more symptoms and a value of 28 for a remedy from Hahnemann. It's very interesting. Even keynote from Hahnemann are not in the repertoire. So let's look at this last case. And well, we don't have many representation. There should be only one. It should be this one. Yeah, so better exertion. So this is with the MMPP repertory. So C-sepia is 4 for better exertion and a 4 for worse 2 to 4. But it's not like this it will not come out in the it will not come out in the complete repertory. Let's see. To the same degree. So here we have the complete repertory. If you look at the rubric, worse 3. It's a 1. 3 to 5, it's a 1. Us, it's a 5. It's a 4. Big difference. So here you won't see it because it's a combination rubric. So when it's a combination rubric, it won't show up. It will not show what it would be the, or at 2 o'clock, you see, it's not even there, sepia. Us probably is there, but for us, it's a 4. It's a big symptom. It's a sine qua non for sepia, and it's not here. And this is a 4. In this repertory, maybe a 3. So let's look. Yeah, it should be a 3. Yeah, it's a 3. But here it's 10-19. No, 9-22. Well, the other one was 16. No, 11-28. So a big difference. Like for instance, better in the sun, it's not even here. For us, it's a 3. Sepia is a 3 for better in the sun. So that's a big difference. Let's look at the elimination. Elimination. Oh, this is the previous case. No, this is the previous case. Not good. Again, I did press the wrong case. It's this one. Okay, let's begin. Oh, it's correct, but not. Yeah, prostate cancer, not bone. Yeah, so there we go. If we do the elimination. Oh, it's a scary of the bone. No, so that's the wrong patient. Something is wrong. Or maybe he had cancer. I don't remember. No. Anyway, it's sepia was the remedy was prescribed. So it would have been a bit different to prescribe it with the without this would be a 1 instead of a 4, and this would be a 3. Big difference. So you can see that the more we progress with the Mathematica Pura project, the more we develop monograph. Like this year, we're going to present in bands. That's when we have our yearly meeting in Europe in September, October. It will be in Bands in Germany at a castle, a beautiful place. So we're going to present maybe 4 remedies. So 4 monographs, new monograph. Maybe 5, perhaps 5. There will be 1 old remedy and 4 new ones, completely new ones. And there will be 4 medicinal mushroom provings that will be presented in bonds. And when we present a remedy, that means the remedy, we have made the monograph, we have looked at the literature about those medicinal mushroom, what was reported. And I can show you, let's say, for instance, the monograph for Ganoderma tsuge. You can see what it looks like. Oh, you don't have the, you don't see me. Share my screen. Okay, so let's start again. So, monograph pre-edited. Ganoderma tsuge. That's the, this is our monograph. So here, the monograph, and it's always hard to manage things with Zoom. Okay, very good. So here you'll see we do a review of how the mushroom was used, or in the scientific literature, the number of citation and so on, and what is being used for hundreds of years, thousands of years. It is about 7,000 years that is being used, this mushroom, in Chinese medicine. So we have all these monographs. You see at the end, you'll see at the end, if we go at the end, you'll see all, these are the cases, see all the reference of from the literature, aside from the Homöopath literature. And then we have what the entries we made to the repertory. So it says here, here it's explained that the abbreviation did not exist in the Mathematica Pura project repertory. So we borrow this one temporarily until it's invented. And then we're going to transfer all the addition that is here. We're going to transfer them to Ganoderma tsuge, because this one is coming up. This is another medicinal mushroom that is coming up soon. We're going to have it maybe in September. So we made 1,400 entries, for new entries to the Mathematica project remedy. And what I want to show you is our prover. So this is our proving team. Oh, what is it? I want to show you that our prover got such benefit from this remedy. Let me see if we can find it. Yeah, here it is. What can we learn from the proving? So to tell you how good is our proving team, 11 of the 19 prover, or 58% of the prover, experienced curative change or a state of increased wellness, which may indicate that Ganoderma tsuge is likely to become a very commonly prescribed remedy, as it has been for centuries in a number of Asian cultures. You have to understand, Ganoderma tsuge, or reishi, is the most used medicinal substance in the entire world. It's 4% of all medicinal substance of traditional medicine that is sold in the world, 4%. So it's the most used. So our 11 of the prover experienced benefit, or no, curative change, but there's more than that. If we go, these are the curative change experienced by the prover, and then some experience a relaxed meditative state, positive mood, timelessness, organized, focus, like benefit, not curative, but benefit. And it's very interesting because the reishi was used by Taoist monks thousands of years ago to improve their meditative practice. Very interesting. So these people, yeah, you're mentioning, to improve their centric calmness. And it's very interesting. There was one patient that had neurofibromatosis. He has hundreds or thousands of tumors all over the body, but he has 100 just in his brain. When they do a scan, it's full of tumors, his brain, neurofibromatosis. And I gave him Ganoderma tsuge, and he says, I took one dose of the 30. I said, I felt better, Dr. Saine. Then I decide, wow, I'll take a second dose. Oh, I felt so much better again. And then he said, I'll take a third dose. I felt even better. He just couldn't. Yeah, so he had a very great sense of well-being in this case, and that's what the prover experienced. Here it says some experience the opposite. One, like many prover experience more energy. 8 of the 16 prover experience, 4 of these experience greater energy and strength. Much strength and so on. In any case, it's very interesting, and it's very rewardful now, because we see the product in practice, and it's confirmed in practice. So I just present 2 cases, but I have other cases. Wonderful case. So there was the Gorder, and I've forgotten now who else has got Ganoderma tsuge that got such beautiful results. But you can see how the MMPT is progressing forward. And if 10 years ago, I could say that as a profession, we were not prepared to deal with people with very aggressive cancer, or like stage 3 and 4 and aggressive case. Today, I can say we're much, much better prepared. And as a rule, we have great success with these cases as a rule, but it's a work in progress. Homeopathy will always be a work in progress. Abermann says we will never stop proving remedy, and we will never stop improving our mathematica. We did not know too much about repertory. He had one, but we didn't work too much with repertory. But yeah, we will never stop improving our mathematica, proving remedies, reporting cure case, reporting our observation, working with potency, like we did with the H potency. We'll never stop progressing forward, but it's make a real difference in practice. So that's all I can say right now about the work that was done by the MMPP. And don't hesitate to join the MMPP. You can join the MMPP for, I think, some euros, 60 euro, and you have access to all the monograph. And every year you can have access to the new monograph that's coming every year. So don't hesitate to do this. And if you want to support the MMPP by doing proving, write us. You can also, for the Europeans especially, you can come to Bonds in Germany. We have a lot of fun. It's a 1 week of 5 days, actually 5 days. It used to be 7 days and almost 9 hours a day, but I cannot do that anymore. But 5 days is more realistic. So don't hesitate to join the MMPP and to work with us, and you'll see if your practice should go up. And the LIPI book should come out. The first 2 LIPI books should come out very soon, like in a month maybe. Don't hesitate. You will be able to get it on the website of the Canadian Academy of Homeopathy. We start our own publishing press. It's called Dare to Know, with a big owl looking at you, making you sure that the wise owl is looking at you with big eyes to know if you really dare to know the truth. And yeah, so if you use the LIPI book, if you read them, you go through them, you'll learn tremendous amount about every aspect of homeopathy, but especially the clinical aspect. And also, I'm sure you'll become much better prescriber. So that's all I have to say. I think if there's question, I'll be ready to ask question, Tim or Christoph or the public.
Yeah, so thank you, André. That was a great presentation. I think it gives us a lot of hope for the future for homeopathy. And I know I've been involved a bit in editing the LIPE book, and oh my God, it's just amazing. Learned a lot. So got a few questions. Someone's encouraging everyone who uses Radar to email them to carry the repertory, as they're not currently carrying it. People are asking about how to get access to the monographs. Of course, you can join the MMPP project at mmpp-saine.org. I don't know if there's any other way, if the monographs are going to be available in any of the programs in the future. I think some of them are available. I don't know when more will be available. I don't know if Christoph or André, you can comment on that.
Well, we had the bundle that was on reference work, and it's still on reference work for whoever has reference work. It's there. Some other software company, maybe even RadarOpus, have some monograph. But now we have a second bundle, they call bundle, another group of remedy that will be delivered to software company, and they will be able to distribute it among their customers. So I know Synergy will have them, but you can also, the most simple thing is just become a member of the MMPP, and you will contribute to the work, because like Christoph mentioned, people have not been paid for a couple of years now for doing their research. And if we have a research team researching the literature, it's a very tedious work. We have translator, we have editors. So it's a lot of work to do the MMPP. It's a group of people, dedicated people, and some of them do it voluntarily, so they're not paid. The sale of the repertory will go directly to the income, will go direct, some of the income, some will go to of course, to the company selling the repertory into Roger Van Zandt work. We'll get a percentage, but the percentage that is due to the MMPP will go directly to the MMPP to pay the people that work for the MMPP. So that would be a big relief for them.
There's a question if the Saine repertory can be edited like McRepertory now, you can edit the repertory. I think the answer is no, except for certain members of the MMPP who are doing a lot of additions. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it's correct. Yeah, absolutely correct. There'll be me, I will be able to do, maybe Christoph and others that are used to make addition. But the good news is those additions will be available within a year. So every year there'll be an upgrade, and people will be able to get it right away. So that's the good news. You were mentioning about the future of homeopathy looks good. I want to reiterate. I predicted in '94 that homeopathy would go down, and it went down terribly bad, unfortunately. But you could see the writing on the wall at that time. But now I think we have a possibility to a resurgence of homeopathy everywhere in the world, not just in India, but everywhere in the world. It will come back, and it will come back strong. But we have to make sure, one thing we have to make sure, and it's written in the Lippi book about 5 places. Never, ever accept something that is not pure Hahnemannian homeopathy. Anything that is not pure Hahnemannian homeopathy is not homeopathy. Simply, it's not homeopathy. So it has to be only pure Hahnemannian homeopathy. That's how homeopathy can survive. That's how it grew, it spread. It's through Hahnemannian homeopathy. It's clear in the book. You can read it black and white in many places. So again, never, ever, any organization, any journal, any association, any group that invite public speaker should not tolerate anything that is not pure homeopathy. Anything that is speculative, invention, opinion, it's not homeopathy. Homeopathy is based on facts, proving the symptom of the patient, and in between there's a law, universal law of the universe, the law of similarity, that it joins the two set of facts. Everything else, hypothesis, opinion, ideas, to make it faster, quicker, to make it simpler, that's laziness. And if you read in the preface of the first edition of the Hahnemann says, this work, and when he wrote that, he didn't even have a student. When he wrote the first edition in 1810, he didn't have a student. The first student was Staff, which was in 1812. So in 1810, he said, this guy, yeah, that guy there, he said, this work is not made for lazy people. So it's not made also for lazy teacher. So if somebody is a lazy teacher, don't listen to them. Just say, walk away from somebody who's not teaching pure homeopathy. Just walk away of their great ideas. There may be great ideas, very phenomenal ideas, but it's not pure homeopathy, and that will not be sustained in practice, and it will destroy homeopathy. The best way to destroy homeopathy is to teach non-Hahnemannian homeopathy. We have the lesson. We have 200 years of history about this. Is very, very clear in the Lippi book.
There's another question in the Saine repertory. Can one differentiate between clinical improving symptoms? I think the answer is no, but you'd have to reference the monographs for that.
That's right. Every symptom in the monograph goes directly in the repertory. So when we present the monograph in bands or we publish the monograph, all the symptoms are in the repertory. So you can look in the monograph and see if it's there. On the other hand, when we say there's 150,000 editions that are in the repertory, usually it's the edition, I think, I'm not so sure about that, it's edition with 908. 908 is the number that was attributed to me by, actually it was 809, and somebody must have a dyslexia sometime in the 90s. They changed my number, which was a number I was given by Kent Homeopathic Associate to identify me as a person, was 809. And sometime I got an upgrade, and I never bought the repertory. I have to admit, I've never bought a digital repertory. It was always given to me by David Walkington. In '86, he contacted me to try them, and I gave him a lot of ideas, and he incorporated about 50% of my ideas into the Mac repertory and reference work. But okay, what I was saying here is I lost my train of thought. You remember, Tim? Oh, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Do you remember, Christoph?
I'm sorry, I was looking at questions.
And I was thinking of something else. In any case,
There's another question. Is the study group only for those with cancer? Of course, the answer is not. No. Anyone can join the study group if you have a strong interest and are willing to work. Some people are asking for a link to your document that you shared with us, that you were showing us on your screen.
I can send it to Christoph. Christoph, you have access to all the people that subscribe?
Not so easily. It would be easier to put it into the chat right now. You can just upload it into the chat. Probably there's a question for. I saw there was a question for basilinum, so I would probably address this question so André can.
I don't
upload.
see how I can upload the thing in the chat.
If you go to chat, there's a smiley face, and next to it is a little like a piece of paper. You click on that and it'll say upload the document.
I don't see it.
Chat, there's an ellipse. There's like 3 dots, the lower screen. Click on that and you'll see a list, and chat will be there.
Yeah, I have I press on, okay, so chat.
And you see the little smiley face in the bottom.
Oh yeah, okay. So
next to that is a little document. Click on that little piece of paper. Click on that.
Okay, and now upload the document.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. I'll do it right now. I will save it first because maybe I did some change. And then I'm going to upload it, and everybody will have it available.
Christoph, why don't you answer the question on basilinum?
Yes, I saw the question about basilinum. What is typical? Is it diarrhea? Is it flatulence? I just share my screen again quickly. Actually, it's not really. Do you see my repertory?
Yes.
Tim, do you see? Yeah, okay. So I was looking for all the basilinum symptoms in the chapters stomach, abdomen, and you see it can be anything. It's a lot of diarrhea rubrics. It's I probably see more constipation. I do see flatulence. So it's a little bit. It's more like lycopodium. It can be anything. It's just they have a little weakness in the digestive tract, and it can be anything. So that's nothing of those symptoms is really typical. So you can't say it should be diarrhea. It should be constipation. It's probably more constipation than diarrhea. It can be anything. Anyway, it has more digestive problems than tuberculinum has.
Tim, you want to check if the thing was uploaded?
Yes, it is uploaded now.
Okay, because I can see it. Okay,
so anyone can download it now. Please do it now. We're going to be ending soon, so you have few minutes to do it.
Yeah, so the idea that I had that I lost my train of thought is homeopathy is not made for lazy people. Abermann says it in the first edition of the Organon. It's not for lazy people.
André, sorry, you just sent it to the panelists. You didn't send it to everyone. You have to choose to everyone, and then you.
Oh, I see everyone. Okay, got it. Yeah. And everyone got it now?
If you do it again with everyone should get it, but you did it to the panelists only.
No, I did everyone again.
No, I don't see it yet.
Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, now.
Yes, now it's there.
Okay, thank you. So yes, so homeopathy is not made for lazy people. And if you look at the second volume of the Mathematica Pura, Abermann published 2 cases there in 1816, sorry. And he says, this is very tedious work to present cases. It's a lot of work. And he says, any case, homeopathy is a lot of work. And basically, it's not for lazy people. So if you hear a teacher says, I have a method that is very easy, likely it's not Abermann homeopathy, and you have to walk away. That was my deal.
I think we'll have a last question. Someone was saying they don't see in their repertory the spinal stenosis rubric. I think that is a new rubric in the.
Yeah, so when we make an addition to the repertory, I can show my screen. When we do the addition to the repertory, we also make new rubrics. So there will be new rubrics. So if we look here, you see my repertory, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we have to go to the real repertory right now. Let's see the real. Oh, where are you now? it would be here. The real repertory is this one. So if we look here back, stenosis, there's a few remedy there, 6 remedy. And these are all monograph, all of them with, no, except for sulfur. These are all monograph we did with the MMPP. And these are all, like they're in bold and italic, because many cases have been treated with these remedies for patients with stenosis, with very good success.
So I think we're kind of pretty much out of time. I would like to just share some information now about the Bont seminar, so everyone has the dates. It is September 30th until October 4th. Here's a schedule, as André mentioned. And you can sign up at mmpp-saine.org. And you can either come in person or you can participate online. And there will be simultaneous translation. And then another program with André, there's a Saine study group. There's 8 sessions in 2024. There's 6 left. You see the dates here. These will be mainly live cases taken. Again, more information, go to mmpp.saine.org. And then here's where the new repertory is available, although as Christoph amended it, Synergy will be available in a few weeks, and then Complete Dynamics, and then the other repertories. So really that ends our webinar. I want to thank everyone for attending. I think this was a great webinar, as André said.
One more word.
Very useful for the very hopeful for the future of homeopathy.
Yeah, I have one more word, Tim. Don't share your screen. I think share your screen away. Okay, so I just received this in the mail today.
Oh, very good.
So for people who want to look at it, it's Tim's book on the essential of practicing homeopathy.
You can find it on Amazon.com.
So that would be a book on pure homeopathy. We don't have many in the modern times, but there's one.
It's based on your chronic course, André, your chronic prescribing course, acute and chronic prescribing course.
Okay, so you can put an end now for the webinar if you want.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for attending.
Thank you for doing the work, and thanks, Matthias.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.